So my first mega trend of the 2020s, now I'm talking roaring 20s, I think there's going to be a hashtag #HeToo movement. Now,
Okay.
hear me out.
And we didn't coordinate this, by the
This
way.
is totally uncoordinated.
So I don't know what the hell you're about to say, so go
So
for
hear
it.
me out. And now let me caveat this by saying it's all tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Globally, women occupied 20% of board seats at major companies in 2019. That's up from
Mhm.
just under 18%. Same report, same MSCI ESG report. Shout out to Olga Emelianova and Christina, last name, who I can't pronounce, but they did an excellent report.
Okay.
At that rate, which is just like 2.1-ish percentage points increase,
Yeah.
women will occupy 100% of board seats in the next 36 years at that rate.
Right. I like it.
So,
Yeah. How come no one's thinking about that?
so how come that's not a thing? Think about the
Yeah.
unintended consequences of 100% women occupancy of boards, which is obviously going to happen. So I thought about this long and hard. And I think the 2020s see a new spike in board and executive controversies called the #HeToo movement, where we see a rise in women's splaining and chick-interrupting, which is when
Yeah.
women interrupt men who are quietly trying to voice their views. It's just a slippery slope until we see a hashtag #HeToo. And I actually created one chart for this. Okay, I want you to let this chart sink in. I'm not sure you can see it, Damien, but
I think I can. I think I
but
can
I will
see.
explain this chart anyway.
Okay.
When it suffices to say, when women are in power, when they're female CEOs, they
Does that
have
happen?
the average number of women on those boards are 35% compared to 21% for male-run companies. So as women accrue power, they surround themselves with more diversity in women.
So say you.
Well, I mean, so says the data. The more
Well,
the
does that data include that woman, the CEO, as a board member? Does that sort of
It does
artificially?
not, but neither does the males.
Oh,
So the
all
males
right.
actually, like,
Take it back.
so I should say that there are 140 or so U.S. publicly traded companies with female CEOs. That feels like a lot to me. Notwithstanding the fact that there are about 2,400 publicly traded companies in the U.S.
Right.
And just for scope this trend, 6% of U.S. companies have zero women on the board. Zero, none women.
Yeah.
That is almost equal to the number of companies with a female CEO. Okay.
Yeah, right. It's slightly greater than like in the Fortune 500, right? Which is about like 5%
Correct.
women.
It is
Yeah.
slightly greater than the Fortune 500.
Jeez.
And just as an
Yeah.
example, about 1% of people in the U.S., just under 1%, but have hepatitis B. They can seek comfort knowing that one of their drug manufacturers, Arrowhead Pharmaceuticals, not only could not find any women for their board. No women scientists or doctors exist for their board. But there are zero women on either of their two advisory boards.
Right.
So congratulations to
Yeah.
those advisory boards. They do have two women on the executive team, the 9-person executive team, covering regulatory affairs, which is, I take it to be lobbying, and human resources. So,
Well, of course, always human
so
resources.
of course. So this is the trend. Women are rising in power. It's inevitable. And scandal will follow in the form of hashtag #HeToo as white
Okay.
men feel the pinch of women in power. That is
I mean,
my tongue in cheek.
This